Chapter 1. Tides of Destiny. The ocean breathes, not in the way mortals dash alow, desperate but in great, slow heaves, pulling the tides across the world like a sigh. Beneath the surface, where sunlight fades to silver, the last city of Atlantis hums with life. Its towers, carved from living coral and veined with bioluminescent stone, rise like the ribs of some slumbering leviathan. This is the heart of the world, the cradle of forgotten gods, and it is here, in the throne room of the Crystal Palace, that Queen Cleito stands, her fingers tracing the edge of a prophecy carved into the wall. The words are old, older than memory. When the sea turns to fire and the sky weeps salt, the last queen will walk the path of the drowned. Cleito exhales. The air smells of salt and something else, is something metallic like the edge of a blade. Outside, the waters ripple with unseen currents. The priests say the gods are restless. The scholars say the world is shifting. But Cleito knows the truth. Atlantis is dying. She turns, her golden circlet catching the light of the palace's central orb, a gem said to hold the last breath of Poseidon himself. The orb pulses faintly, as if in warning. The queen's gaze lingers on the distant horizon, where the water darkens, where something vast and ancient stirs. The story of Atlantis is not one of kings and conquests, but of a people who dared to defy the heavens. They built their city where no land should be, where the earth's bones cracked open to cradle their dreams. They harnessed the power of the deep, bending the tides to their will, carving knowledge into the very walls of their temples. But pride, as the old tales go, is the first step toward ruin. Cleito remembers the day her father, King Atlas, stood before the council of the deep and declared, "We are the children of the sea, but we are not bound by its mercy." That was the moment the gods began to turn away. Now the city groans under the weight of its own ambition. The great levitation crystals that once held Atlantis aloft flicker like dying stars. The engineers whisper of fractures in the foundation, and the earth itself trembling beneath the city's weight. And in the streets, the people murmur of women's fish with eyes like human souls, storms that rage without wind, the sound of distant weeping in the hollows of the coral towers. Cleito's hand rests on the hilt of her dagger, a weapon forged from the heart of a fallen star. It is said that only the blood of a true ruler can awaken its power. She does not know if she will need it. But she knows this. The end is coming. The throne room is empty save for one figure, a woman draped in the robes of the oracle, her face hidden behind a veil of silver thread. She does not bow. She does not speak. She simply waits, as if she has been expecting Cleito for centuries. "You have seen it," the queen says, her voice steady despite the weight in her chest. The oracle lifts her hands, and the silver threads part like water, revealing eyes that are not human. They are pools of liquid gold, swirling with storms. "The sea will rise," she says. "The sky will fall, and you will walk the path of the drowned." Cleito's fingers tighten around the dagger. There must be another way. The oracle smiles, and it is the saddest thing Cleito has ever seen. There is only the path, and you must choose it. Outside the palace, the first tremors begin. The water trembles, then rolls, as if something vast is stirring in the depths. The people of Atlantis look up, their faces pale, their voices hushed. They have felt this before, the warning before the storm. Cleito steps onto the balcony, her robes billowing like the wings of a great bird. Below her, the city stretches out, a jewel in the crown of the ocean. She can see the temples, the markets, the homes where children laugh and elders tell stories of a time before the world was broken. And she knows what she must do. The oracle's words echo in her mind as she descends into the depths of the city where the oldest secrets are kept. The Hall of the Forgotten is a cavern of black stone, its walls lined with the bones of those who came before. Here, the air is thick with the scent of salt and decay. At the center of the hall stands a pedestal, and upon it rests a single object, a conch shell, its surface etched with runes. It is said that this shell once held the voice of the sea itself, that it can summon the gods, or drown them. Cleito lifts it to her lips. The moment she blows, the world trembles. A sound like thunder fills the cavern, then the city, then the ocean itself. The water around Atlantis begins to churn, to rise, to twist into a vortex so vast it blots out the sun. The people scream, the temples shake, and from the depths something answers. The last queen of Atlantis stands at the edge of the abyss, her back to the city she loves, her eyes fixed on the horizon. The water around her is alive with light, with movement, with the whispers of the deep. She does not know if she will return. She does not know if her people will survive. But she knows this: the path of the drowned is not one of surrender. It is one of choice. And so, with the conch shell pressed to her lips, Cleito breathes into the storm and the sea answers, the tides of destiny have turned, and Atlantis will never be the same.